Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube Wrestling Roundtable. We have a trio of us today, myself as well as Survive If I Let You, Boss Man. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing all right.
And also, the Jose 101. How you doing, mate?
Well, you know something, brother. I have been called upon to lead Metallica, brother. Brother. Oh, cramp, brother. Anyway, good to be here. Brother.
Fair enough. Okay, lots of brothers here, and we're all brothers here as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's just get straight, first of all, into this week in wrestling. Now, I have watched little snippets here and there since AEW's pay-per-view last week, which was absolutely phenomenal. I, as everyone's well aware, no longer is a wrestling fan, but I couldn't help but be intrigued and lured by the fact that CM Punk was coming back into wrestling after a 7-year hiatus, and I was watching wrestling 7 years ago. So I was curious to see if he still has it, as well as the rest of the pay-per-view, which I heard was pretty good. But we're not going to be talking about that because we've already spoken about that last week. So the aftermath of that, as well as what WWE replied with Brock Lesnar obviously returning back into the WWE. So first of all, I'll start with you, Jose, as you finally joined us. Give us some news on AEW and WWE. Anything in particular you need to bring up?
Mick Foley, Jesus freaking Christ. Did you guys see all his tweets and shit? Like, over this past week? I saw
one of his videos on YouTube regarding how they're not helping with younger talent, WWE. Just straight to the mark. I love it.
And today he said that all wrestlers are the same and everyone's so generic and the same. And I'm like, okay, he's not wrong, but where the fuck was Mick Foley like 4 or 5 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Or like 5, 10, 15 years ago. It's like, you know he's on their payroll, but he don't give a fuck. WWE. Oh, go ahead.
I think sometimes, you realize these things, and you're hoping that they realize these things until it gets to a point where like he can't contain it anymore. Yeah.
I mean, Mick Foley, he kind of reminds me of Bret Hart in that sense, because Bret Hart was the same way. Bret's under Legends contract, and he don't give a fuck. He will say what he got to say about anybody and everybody who will listen. And Mick Foley's kind of at that point as well. And with AEW, in regard to their pay-per-view, it was the best show of the year. It destroyed SummerSlam. It killed WrestleMania. AEW is not to be fucked with, basically. I thought their follow-up show, it was all right. You know, the MJF Pillman stuff was probably the best thing about that show this past week. MJF, he gives me old school Roddy Piper, old school Miz kind of vibes, and I just love how he just stays in character. And to everybody that's offended by the Metheny comment, let me assure you, motherfuckers, Brian Pillman Sr. would be proud of that segment. I guarantee you. I think AEW brought it this past week.
Yeah, it's very good to see that, AEW, they really want to take WWE's crown by the looks of things. They are doing everything they can. You gonna go now, sweetie? Okay, maybe not. But yeah, they're doing everything they can to take that crown, and I mean in various ways. I mean, they're looking after their guys. They're wanting their guys to feel that they're part of something historic. And this is just coming from an outside view, by the way. You could tell that that they want to not only just give good shows, but be the number one. And I'm very much on board. Many people have tried to take WWE's crown and failed. TNA, most notably, but this feels a lot different now. Bossman, anything to say, mate?
Yeah, it's funny to how AEW's turned everything around since, I'm going to say February. When was the exploding ring? Was that February?
When was what?
The exploding ring.
Yeah, the exploding ring. Yeah, it was a while back.
It was like February. Yeah. It was like April, February. It's like March, April, February.
A few months back.
Yeah. Start of the year. And the thing is that people laugh at them and saying, "Oh, they're going to go out of business," blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, they've taken that obviously bad thing and they've run with it and they've continued to go and go and go. And then all of a sudden, they've turned on a dime and brought all this positive momentum where people are actually talking about them as a cool place to go. They're actually a legitimate place where people, instead of staying there on their WWE contracts and thinking, I can go there. I don't have to be putting weird shit on my face or paint myself blue or jumping up and down like a complete goof. I can actually be taken seriously. Yeah, I might not agree with everything they do, but you know what? At least I get to be me. I don't have to be flaming some guy who looks like a complete dickhead.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing too. Sorry to interrupt, but it's not going to be about money anymore when it comes to this WWE versus AEW thing. It's going to be more about the creative aspect. Like, will I be happier at this company? Whereas WWE, you're stuck with what they give you unless your name is fucking John Cena, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. You know, that elite crop of guys. You know, that certain crop of guys that Vince loves so much. If you're one of them, you're fine. But if you're like a mid-carder, if you're a legend like Jeff Hardy, you chase after the 24/7 championship. Whereas in AEW, you have a chance to survive and thrive there, I think. So it's not going to be just about money anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the things that AEW has done right is just continue to put out solid content. Because the thing is that it's not just that they put out good matches, it's that the fact that they keep on getting guys who people want to see, because people want to see CM Punk, people want to see Bryan Danielson, people want to see Ruby Soho, people want to see, I'm sure when Bray Wyatt comes in, people want to see him, you know, and apparently they want to get Will Ospreay. He's a great talent. You know, people want to see that, you know. I'd love to see him versus Pac. I'd love to see him against Omega, him against Punk. That would be a dream match. Actually, him against Punk would be a great match. But that's the thing, is that people get to do these booking ideas. I mean, I know you're talking about Jeff, but Punk every week keeps on impressing me with his verbal thing. Because him and Taz this week on
Dynamite, yeah, that was some good shit.
That was really, really good. And it's like the bad stuff in Dynamite seems to be going down, and the good stuff seems to be going up. It's like the raw bad stuff is up here, the good stuff is like down here. You have to go through so much bad stuff to get to the good stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas in AEW, it slips. I can put up with the bad stuff because the good stuff is so good.
Explain it to me, fellas. What happened between CM Punk and Taz? Because I've only heard about it.
Basically, Punk came out and he was like, "Oh, it's all great to be here." It was the thing of who's next, and then Taz got all pissed off, and he was like, "Wait, Taz. Motherfucker, what the fuck?" Yeah, Taz, because Taz is his own team now. Yeah, Taz is on commentary, and he's got his own stable. And Punk is like, who should I fight now? Like, who am I supposed to wrestle next? Taz gets up, and he gets all pissed off, and he's like, hey, motherfucker, why don't you take on one of my guys? Why don't you take on Ricky Starks? Which, let's be real, that match would be a banger. CM Punk versus Ricky Starks would be out of this fucking world, man. I mean, Taz is one of those dudes that still could generate heel heat. You can never turn him babyface. In my view, you just can't.
Really? I thought I mean, I don't even think of Taz as a heel. I just think of him as...
You just think of him as a commentator.
Not just that, but I mean, I remember what it was like when he first came in.
He brought the old, like, ECW Taz out. He brought the old, like,
FTW title came back.
Yeah. He was there going, like, kick Team Taz out your mouth. I never mentioned Team Taz. And that's great, because, like, he was just like, he goes, bring me Hobbs, bring me Starks, bring me Cage. He says, beat me if they can, survive if I let you. And
yeah, just like, Punk used Taz's own catchprise against him, and that was some good shit. It was
so great. It's like an MGF bit. I watched it about 3 or 4 times. Just
fantastic.
He was going on about, like, Brian Pillman Jr.'s mother, the fact that she has a drug problem. They're going on about, like, faming.
16 and Preggers. That got me. That broke me.
Yeah, and the thing is he made me forget that he just lost to Jericho, because, like, he pushed just the right spots to piss me off.
Yep.
I'm like, he's just the best. He's just the best heel in the business right now.
And go ahead.
And with WWE not really doing heels, they can really push that. They can really push the fact that he's a heel.
Yep.
And the thing is, I mean, what I think should happen is the Elite should split up, and then he gets pushed to the top of the card so he could be in that spot, in the Omega spot, and he could draw legitimate heat for the stuff he says and does.
Yeah, I think, and then as far as WWE goes, people are upset about the Selena Vega thing because for those that, everyone knows, yesterday was 9/11, horrible fucking day here in America that we, revisit every single fucking year. Selena Vega got cut from SmackDown and they were in the Garden, and a lot of people were pissed off about that. And it's like, guys, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
Do you know what that is, Sam?
What'd you say, boss man?
I was asking Sam, does he know what that is?
Well, Selena Vega.
Yeah, do you know why?
She's the girl with the rope hair. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but do you know why people were pissed off? The fact she was cut.
No, I don't know. I mean, you mentioned in 9/11.
Her father was killed in 9/11.
Her father was killed.
Towers. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, her parents were both killed. It's like
WWE are not known for being subtle.
No.
You know what I mean, they fired fucking Punk on his wedding day, so
yeah, you think that they'd at least get a win by getting Selena Vega, whose parents were killed in fame in 9/11.
Her dad was killed. Her mom and everybody's still alive. It was just her father. But still, yeah, WWE pretty much like pissed off people, and I'm like, this honestly really isn't anything new. I mean, if you've been watching WWE for a long time, like we all have watched WWE, you come to expect these things, that shit gets cut all the time. And this isn't the first time they've done something stupid like this. It damn sure won't be the last. But one of the positives is y'all need to go out of your way to see Rollins versus Edge. That match kicked ass on SmackDown this past week.
Just regarding 9/11.
The two great talents.
Yeah.
I forgot which wrestler it was, but when 9/11 happened, obviously there was no entertainment programs whatsoever because everybody was focused on
what was going on,
the aftermath.
Yeah.
And then who was it? No, I think it might have been Ryback who mentioned how that Vince just couldn't wait to get back on air, and start fucking getting back to business again, because that's what he does. I mean, you see him during the pandemic. He didn't, as soon as the pandemic began, he wasn't giving people a break at all. He was still doing shows in empty arenas.
Mm-hmm.
So, it goes to show that with this guy, he doesn't fucking. Sorry, I apologize for my bird flying around, but it just goes to show that this is the sort of person he is. He just wants to get content out as much as possible.
And it's like we said, okay, we said this in one of our other videos. God, it may have been like a year ago when this shit got started, or over a year and a half ago. We said that if a wrestler dying, or if two wrestlers dying, three wrestlers dying, and the show goes on, and if, whatever the fuck else happens. Yeah, Owen Hart, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero.
No, Owen Hart died.
But Owen Hart dying, literally on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We said that, if Owen Hart passing away happens and the show goes on, a pandemic ain't going to stop him. And 9/11 didn't stop him either. I'm like, are y'all really surprised that Vince...
As far as he was concerned, 9/11 was like, I can make some fucking money out of this. Turn fucking Angle face, or he just turned face, fortunately for him. Go down the patriotic angle and just fucking
and a lot of people
as much as possible.
A lot of people don't know Angle was not supposed to win the title at Unforgiven 2001. Only reason he did was because of the patriotic fucking thing. Yeah.
But the thing is that I mean, I hate to say it, but I hate to say this sentence I'm about to say, but Raw is the worst wrestling program out there at the moment. It is terrible.
I couldn't tell you. If you were to ask me, like, what happened last week on Raw, I couldn't tell you shit. That's how out of tune with Monday Night Raw.
Well, Alexa Bliss was on it doing her creepy dolls shit. That was like, she's basically doing Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt watered down. That's basically what she does. She goes, "Oh, this is my doll Lily, and she doesn't like you very much." I was like, heaven's sake!
Oh God!
I did like. What else was it? There was a lot of wrestling in it, a lot of tag wrestling in it, because Bruce Pritchard was in charge instead of Vince McMahon. But Vince was still.
I heard that too. He wasn't there. Yeah.
So they got more wrestling done this time.
Yeah, there was actually wrestling on a wrestling program.
That's not gonna last.
Yeah, it's like God damn it, there wasn't enough promos, man.
Yeah, there wasn't enough promos and backstage segments. God damn it, Bruce, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, Vince, you weren't here. What'd you want me to do? Well, God damn it, you needed to have these guys go out there and cut a 20-minute promo. That was what we needed to start the show with. How dare you change up the
I don't mind if there's a promo, at least if it's entertaining. Punk and Flaming and MGF went out there and cut promos, and I was entertained when they did so. And they created angles, and I was interested.
Yeah.
These guys come out with promos, and they're basically reading for a script where they sound like this.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Seth Rollins, and I'm the Monday Night Messiah. It's like, go away.
Yeah. But WWE, man, they want to be Hollywood. This has been their fucking motive since the mid-2000s, since Stone Cold and Rock retired. They're thinking, yeah, you know what? We're going to be as big as fucking Hollywood. And speaking of being as big, Becky Lynch is saying someday she hopes to be bigger than The Rock. And I'm like, yeah, you ain't going to get that far.
No.
You good, but you ain't going to get that far. Let's keep that shit real.
You don't have that level of charisma.
Yeah.
I mean, The Rock is where he is not because he was the stuff he's done in the ring, is because of what he's become out the ring as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's what she wants to achieve, is like, she wants to get on that level. And I'm like, I hate to tell you, honey, but there's no megastars in WWE. I mean, who stands out besides like Roman Reigns? Because right now, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
I mean, John Cena, obviously.
Yeah, John Cena. Yeah,
John Cena is the Hollywood star at the moment, but once again, like, you have to be a Hollywood star yourself, Becky. She ain't, and so she's not. And until she starts churning out movies, no one's gonna fucking think of her anywhere near The Rock, let alone John Cena.
If anything, she's gonna be a direct-to-DVD person. I can see that in her future right fucking now.
She's going to be like in the Marine 6 or something like that. One of the terrible movies they put out.
Yeah, shit like that. Like, she'll be doing stuff like, the Marine 6.
Talking of which, I mean, I can't remember the last time WWE put out one of their shitty movies. Come on, WWE, you let them decide.
I actually think they shut their studio down, dude. I don't know if it's still up or not.
Oh, God damn. It's just because I love watching their terrible movies. It's just like, as somebody who's a bad movie aficionado,
you find something good out of it.
Yeah. It's like because some of them are like room level bad.
Yeah, I remember when the NWO used to come out at the beginning of Nitro for 30 minutes, and you'd have like, everybody and their mother was a member of the NWO. WWE's doing that now with just all their talent. It's like everybody and their mother can cut a 30-minute promo talking about stupid shit.
I mean, the thing is, and this is what AEW is not doing with the Elite. The Elite just enough that you're interested, and then they fuck off.
Yep.
And then somebody else comes and does something.
Yeah, they don't take over the whole show. It'd be a problem if they took over the whole show, but they don't.
They don't.
When it comes to female talent, though, has any I can't think of one at the moment has actually made it in Hollywood or has become reasonably famous outside of the ring?
Outside I can't think of one. Trish Stratus, but that's me for yoga stuff.
The only one I could think of, the only one that I could think of that came really fucking close, and had she not fucked up, was China. China would have been that one out of everybody on their roster.
Supposed to be the Terminator in Terminator 3.
Yep.
She's built like she's really, but as I said, what's happening at the moment in wrestling is really interesting because we have AEW, which isn't doing the same mistakes TNA did, which is like having all these like fast spots. They have a bit for everybody so that everybody gets to enjoy it. So they've got the real wrestling matches, Brazilian Punk. They got the high flying offense of the Young Bucks. They've got Kenny Omega doing whatever he does. They've got Christian Cage. They've got Chris Jericho. I mean, and I'm hoping one of these days that they'll start doing retirement angles for these older wrestlers, so that these older wrestlers can either go backstage or retire or go and be referees.
Yeah, like Chris Jericho. He's on that list of guys that I'm like, okay, Chris, I'll give you maybe another 6 months, maybe another year, and then let's move on, buddy.
Guy looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack, man.
Kind of.
I mean, how tall is he? About what, 5'10"?
Yeah, give me a second. I can check it out for you. All right. Chris Jericho. Yeah, we got anything else to add before we move on to our main topic? Which is going to be a good one, by the way.
what pay-per-views are coming up? Oh, by the way, regarding Brock and Roman Reigns,
Extreme Rules is coming up.
Do you think it feels like they're really trying to make Roman Reigns like the credible heel now? Give him that Triple H treatment.
Mm-hmm.
If he beats Brock Lesnar, which I think there's a possibility, but he's taken them all down now. He's taken down Undertaker. He's taken down John Cena. It really feels like Brock Lesnar is the only person left on his list.
Nah, I can tell you who I could tell you who at least their long-term goal is.
The Rock.
Yep, Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah. Look, I no doubt about The Rock, but he's not in the scene at the moment.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're going to bring him back to sort of comport the crowd.
And even then, The Rock, for me, like The Rock is he's like Brock Lesnar's way more involved in the WWE than the fucking Rock is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Brock Lesnar's a part timer, then The Rock is a fucking blue mooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is history with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar's made Roman Reigns his bitch every time. So it's about time, I think, that Roman Reigns is gonna
get one his on Brock. Yeah, I see that too.
And after that, I don't know where they're gonna go after that, but it's nothing's written, but it feels like it's going that way. Because you don't beat John Cena just to lose to fucking Brock Lesnar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I see it being to where Country Boy Brock is about to get his ass beat, and then ultimately, where this is going. Oh, finally, for whatever, I'm never leaving again. And also, Rock. Oh yeah, Hollywood's calling. I gotta go.
John Cena's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
John Cena's gone. Yeah.
He comes back for what they've had him do, and this is so fucking stupid. They've had him as a dark match guy for like the past month, ever since he came back. I'm like, what the fuck? Utilize him. Make use of him while you got him.
But since Roman beat him, he's gone.
Yeah, since Roman beat him, he's been a dark match guy. They've had him always come out after the cameras are off, and he'll do, a 6-man tag or whatever the fuck. That's been John Cena's role. Yeah. Would you want Roman to go over Brock by legit or crook? I would have him go over him clean if it was me. I'd like to see them two just straight up fight.
But Brock Lesnar is the face in this feud, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Considering how much of a prick he is, that is very bad casting.
Yeah, because he don't like people. Legit, he fucking hates people.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they can make Brock Lesnar heel till the cows come home. There's going to be a massive element of fans that are always going to cheer for him.
Yeah, because he's Brock fucking Lesnar.
Because he's Brock fucking Lesnar. When he came back and he fucking F5'd John Cena that time.
Mm-hmm.
When the fans,
he got a pop.
He got a pop, and he was supposed to be the fucking heel.
Mm-hmm.
That's because everyone hates John Cena.
Yeah, that is true.
But they missed a trick by making Brock Lesnar lose in the pay-per-view. So fucking stupid.
I think that was Vince's way of, God damn it, pal. Okay, you want to go over and be a UFC fighter, that's fine. But you're going to do business here. And that's pretty much what it was Vince making Brock do business.
I give Brock Lesnar a lot of credit, though, because people, regardless of what you might be as a human being, he does do what he needs to do in the ring. Like he's been squashed by Goldberg, and he's lost many matches.
His selling is underrated as a motherfucker too.
His selling is very good.
Mm-hmm.
He does sell, and I think people underestimate him on that. But I'm glad, a bit like CM Punk to a degree, that you can try other avenues. But at the end of the day, you got to know what you're best at. And the best at is this. So regardless of his time in the UFC, which he wasn't too bad in, this is where he's gold.
Yeah, Country Boy Brock is interesting so far. I kind of like him.
And I like the fact that he hasn't got Heyman. Because me and Shredder had debated this, and Shredder, and honestly thinks that Brock can't talk. I think Brock can talk.
He can talk if you just tell him, like, okay, dude, here's your bullet points. Touch on this, touch on this, touch on this, and let him go. Because Brock can fucking talk, and he doesn't even need to say much.
I just don't know where people get this idea that he's not a talker, because I've seen him give great promos. I really have, great promos without fucking Paul Heyman having to speak for him, and I want to see that again. He doesn't need a mouthpiece, in my opinion.
Brock is the kind of dude where you could have him cut short and sweet promos. I'm gonna beat your ass. curb your fucking head in, and get the fuck out the door. Like, that's all Brock has to do. He doesn't have to be any more than that. That's his appeal. I'm badass. I'm going to show you I'm badass. I'm going to whoop your ass, and then I'm getting out. I'm going to go bang Sable. That's basically what he wants to do.
Do you think, so both of you guys, do you think Roman Reigns is going to beat him?
Yes.
And Bossman? Bossman?
I don't know if he froze. He's still there.
He's there.
Sorry, I'm having a connection problem. Sorry, mate.
No problem, Bossman. Do you think Roman Reigns will beat Brock Lesnar at the pay-per-view?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is because the world was saving for The Rock. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, and then, okay.
And The Rock won't beat him. It'll be either Finn Balor or somebody like that. It'll be somebody... If by the way, if The Rock beats him, WWE's going to the tank.
Yeah, don't be shocked. Okay, and in regard to midlife crisis, getting back to your point, boss man, he's 6 feet.
Yeah. Who's Chris Jericho?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and so he's about my height.
Yeah.
The shortest 6 footer I've ever seen.
Yeah. Midlife crisis is 6 feet, and let me see how much they have him build. Oh, yeah, and it's time for our new subject, or it's time for our favorite topic.
All right, guys. So
this is going to be good.
So Hulk Hogan has been the ultimate bullshit artist for years, and you know what? You don't get to the top of an industry or anything in life without white lies, bullshitting, and some hustling and this, that, and the other. And Hulk Hogan knows how to play the game, so to speak. So we're going to go through some of his some of the tweets which are describing some of the lies he's done over the years, and laugh at Hulk Hogan.
You might need to I need to expand that a little bit, just so the writing's a little bit difficult to read on the screen.
I can't really expand it any more than this, mate.
Dude, look at your phone. If you have your phone there, that's what I do. I just look at my phone.
No, I'm just looking for everybody else because I think there is a way to do it. If you go to your settings screen,
you can full screen the. You can full screen.
You can full screen the shot, but yeah, you can't full screen unless he makes his font bigger.
You can, yeah.
That may be
let me do that.
That may be the only way to do it. Is you have to make your font just a tad bit larger for the audience to see.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That's more like it. Yep.
Nice one, Jose. Nice one.
Yep.
All right. So I won't be able to see you guys now, but I have to scroll through this.
Yep.
So,
but we can all pick out our favorite one. I already know what mine is, but and I'll tell you when we get there what my favorite one's going to be.
Let's have a look at some of the ones with a big chunk of likes on it. So this one's got 591. Yep. Wrestling director Darren Aronofsky. This is the guy who I think he did Black.
Aronofsky.
Yeah, offered him the lead role 3 times.
And the wrestler, just to make it clear. Yeah.
Okay. Hogan claims he turned it down because he didn't deserve it. Aronofsky Catley denies that Hogan was ever considered for the role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think one of the best things, just to go on about the wrestler, was that they actually had an actor play a wrestler. I think that's what gave the film credibility, in my opinion. He was an all-state pitcher in high school that he was scouted by both the New York Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds, but injury prevented him from signing with either of them. What sort of injury?
I don't know. Probably something to his wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then, Kevin Owens. This one's good.
Hogan claims he was the one who first noticed Kevin Owens' potential. Well, I hate to brag about it, but I'm the first one to point the finger at Kevin Owens after a decade of solid work in the Indies. Fair. No. God, he really wants to take credibility, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Hogan starred in Mr. Nanny and Santa with Muscles. Hogan claims he rewrote both scripts entirely, only to have his writing credit stolen from him by the Darsley Writers Guild. Please. If he did rewrite he made
this one's fucking flops. Good. This one's hilarious. This
Hogan
one killed
me. He used to fight Pride Fighters. Pride Fighters in the 70s?
Yep.
Pride Fighting Championship was found in 1997.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, he's becoming senile, isn't he?
Yeah. And then this one you've heard him say many, many times when he was the first to slam Andre.
Yeah. And that Andre weighed 600 pounds when Hogan body slammed him. And the lie that Andre died a few days after the slam. Hogan also claimed that he tore 18 muscles in his back slamming Andre.
How the fuck is that possible, considering Andre retired in like 1991? You wrestled him in 1987.
Back in the territories when he was a heel, Yeah, he just scoop slammed him like he was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen that wrestling match.
The one in Shea Stadium is the one where I know he first slammed him. That was the one I saw.
It was just a shitty indoor wrestling show.
Yeah.
And they were doing a promo outside the ring, and Hogan just comes in and butts in on the promo and claims that they will, that next week they'll fight each other in the ring. And then Andre said, "Look, we have a ring right here. Let's fight here." And Hogan said, "Okay, no problem." And you just see him do a regular body slam on Andre the Giant. It was so effortless. If I can find that, I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
John Belushi sadly died in 1982, but apparently, according to the Hulk, he parted with him
after WrestleMania 2. Yeah, even though Belushi had already been dead for years.
4 years.
Yeah, this one's good too. Yeah, because look at this. Here's evidence right here.
Hulk Hogan told Taker that he had caused permanent damage to his neck by botching that tombstone spot, and Taker believed him for the better part of 2 years before finally seeing a tape of the match, which clearly showed Hogan's head came nowhere near the chair.
Oh, my neck, brother! You really stiffed me.
One of the things, I have to be honest with you, I never, it took me a while to understand about kayfabe and all of that. And I remember once, I think of WrestleMania 7, the first WrestleMania, Undertaker he fought Jimmy Snuka and he did a tombstone on him.
Yep.
And Jimmy Snuka's head was nowhere near the fucking the canvas when he tombstoned him, and I thought that was just so weird.
Yeah, the way he did it.
No, you could tell, like, Mark here is fucking trying to look after Hulk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, he's really taking care of the guy.
Yep.
So yeah, and Taker's Ric Flair to a degree.
Yeah, Taker's knees takes the brunt of the tombstone more than anything.
Yeah, that must have hurt his knees if he's landing his fucking knees right on the rim of that chair. Anyway.
Oh yeah, this one I'll have to elaborate on.
Hulk Rules, an album released by Hulk Hogan and the Wrestling Boot Band. One of the most famous tracks from the album is the tribute song "Hulkster in Heaven." Okay,
so what it was Hulk Hogan went down to London to do a Make-A-Wish around SummerSlam 1992 time. And he met this kid and left him front row tickets to SummerSlam. And when Hogan got there, he saw the empty seats and he knew that the kid had died because I guess the kid had like terminal cancer or something. But as you read on, you'll figure out the lie in this part of the thing. So,
according to Hogan, he met a very ill Make-A-Wish kid in England and got him a ticket to SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium to watch him wrestle in the main event. Hogan wasn't at SummerSlam and he wasn't in UK at the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's how Hulkster in Heaven came to be. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's a compulsive, man.
Yeah, because the song is a real song. It's just the fact that, Hogan was like, oh, yeah, I was at SummerSlam 92 and I saw that the kid had died. And it was like, no, you weren't.
I don't understand this guy. Like, he's very charismatic. He's obviously talented. The guy's a musician as well. Why, guitar player and all of that. Why the fuck do you need to bullshit so much, Hogan?
Yeah, it's all,
you got so much you can run with. It just makes no sense. Hulk Hogan claimed that he was asked to join a startup company known as UFC. While UFC wasn't nearly as popular as it is today, Hogan said he wouldn't have joined because guys get beat up when the fight should be stopped.
Yeah, Dana White called total bullshit on that. I remember hearing about that, and Dana White was like, yeah, he's full of shit.
When he was in WCW, Hogan said that a pay-per-view bout between himself and Mike Tyson was supposed to commence. Hogan's excuse as to why it didn't happen: Tyson was too scared.
Dude, Tyson would have ate Hogan alive, flat out.
Yeah, we're talking actual fight.
Yeah,
an actual fight.
If you're talking a fight, Tyson would have killed Hulk Hogan.
Mike Tyson today would have killed him.
Yeah. Shit, Mike Tyson now could probably still kill Hulk Hogan.
Man, Mike Tyson's got into good shape recently.
Yeah.
He's got rid of a lot of his demons and he's got back into the ring and he's getting healthy again. Anyway, George Foreman Grill. Hogan claimed on an episode of Hogan Knows Best that the reason he didn't get the offer was because he was out picking up his kids from school.
That's some bullshit right there. Because I think it came down to Hogan was going to be sold like a toaster or some such bullshit like that, and it was one or the other, and Hogan was like, yeah, a grill, that'll never fucking catch on. So Foreman said, fuck it, I'm going to capitalize on it. And look what happened. George Foreman girls came out and they blew the fuck up.
Revitalized his career, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay.
This one's good.
Hulk Hogan did claim that back in his heyday, he wrestled in 400 days in 1 year. In 1 year, I mean, that's obviously impossible. Hogan claimed that since he traveled so frequently between the United States and Japan, the time difference made the 400 Oh my. I bet, you know what? I bet there are people who believe this shit. Yeah, I mean, he will fucking, die on the hill for this shit because they love Hogan so much. Oh God. This one, that's so far. That's my favorite.
Yeah, so far, I could see that one being your favorite.
That one is definitely my favorite.
I'll let you know when we get to mine, and then I'm going to take over on that one.
No problem.
And it's coming up. It's coming up after this one you're about to read.
In Hulk Hogan's autobiography, he made the claim that Elvis was a huge Hogan fan before Hogan. This might be my favorite now.
Okay, here we go.
1977.
Yep.
Elvis died in 1977. That's why I laugh so much.
Here we go.
All
here
right.
we go. Hogan claimed that both Metallica and the Rolling Stones wanted him as their bass player, but Metallica member Lars Ulrich came to Hogan himself and asked him to play with the group. Here's the thing. Lars Ulrich has a photographic fucking memory. He never even met Hulk Hogan. Not one time. That one's my favorite. That one kills me every time I hear it.
Hogan claimed that both Metallica and the Rolling Stones Metallica came to Hogan himself to ask him to play with the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Lars Ulrich has a photographic memory. He remembers everyone that he meets. He never even fucking heard of Hulk Hogan. Never even met the guy. And Hogan said that, oh yeah, he was approached by Metallica. No, you weren't.
Well, the rubber, obviously, that particular time, and the Rolling Stones too.
Yeah.
Hogan claimed that he'd been offered and turned down a so-called Legends match at WrestleMania 22. That alleged match was Hogan versus Valentine.
That I call some bullshit.
I'm a big fan of Greg Valentine, by the way, and you see that he's doing really well in his life after wrestling.
Yeah, Greg Valentine has been virtually crippled for the last 10 years. Not in a wheelchair, but he can't wrestle anymore. He got really, really hurt.
But he's in his life financially, he's in good shape. Not many wrestlers.
No. Greg Valentine's in good shape, but he can't wrestle because he got really injured.
Yeah.
Watching his interviews and stuff, he really does come across as one of the good guys of the company, and yeah.
But that Legends match, before we move on, was actually supposed to be against Stone Cold because they had talked about doing that for a while. But I think both guys were like, yeah, fuck you, I'm not putting you over. That was their attitude at the time. Steve was like, yeah, if this is going to be my last match, I'm going over. And Hogan was like, no, brother, fuck you, I'm going over. And that never came to be.
Yeah, fair enough. And don't get me wrong, like I said, Hogan versus Valentine is just, it's just not. Valentine is he's not a marquee guy. He's a cult guy.
Yeah,
not marquee. Anyway, nevertheless, when he ran for president.
Yeah, because he did an angle in WCW stating where he was going to retire and become president of the United States. Toward the end of '98.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, with Trump becoming president,
anything could happen. Yep.
Yeah. When he ran for president, Leno asked Hogan about his platform, flat tax. Sorry.
Yeah, this one's too good too.
Jay asked him to explain it for the folks at home. Hogan stammered before coming up with 16%. Jay asked how he came up with that number. He mumbled something about 16 being 150.
Yeah, Hogan is a fucking idiot. Just makes you go, oh my god.
No, Leno
the next bit's great.
Him so seriously.
Yep.
The next one's great. Hogan claimed he was blackballed for Hollywood because he turned down a gay producer's advances in the 1980s. Dude, you made Mr. Dandy in 1992. Well, let me have a look at that. 1 second.
He was doing the A-Team in the 80s and stuff.
No, he did Suburban Commando.
And he did. He was in Rocky and stuff as well.
Yeah, Suburban Commando came out, which he was a star of, 1991.
Yeah.
And the director was gay, right, in that movie? Or the producer?
He also did No Holds Barred, I think, which was in the late 80s.
Yeah, No Holds Barred was like 89 or some shit.
Yeah.
Year after I was born. Now, this one I could probably believe, because this does sound like a Hogan fucking idea.
He claimed he came up with the idea of the NWO, but he wanted it to be him, Booty Man, and the Nasty Boy. Who the hell's Booty Man?
Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, I could probably believe because he was friends with those motherfuckers.
Yeah, especially Brian Knobs with the Nasty Boys. Them two were really tight.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah. And
I call bullshit on the part about him coming up with the NWO, though. Like,
well, what I heard is that he was very reluctant to turn heel. Right up to the moment he was supposed to turn heel, he was very reluctant. That's what I've been hearing. Some of the stories. Like on the day itself, he didn't want to turn heel.
You could see it when he walked out to the ring too. When you go back and watch the turn, you could see it in his face. Like he looked like, oh fuck.
Yeah, sorry, Cheeto. I'll take down the comment. I apologize. I was on the other screen. He claimed Harley Race came to the arena with a gun in Kansas City in the 1980s and set their ring on fire. And then when he ran into Hogan, he shook his hand, thanked him for all he'd done for wrestling, and asked for a job.
What? That's bullshit.
Harley Race would have been a bigger guy than Hogan.
Dude, Harley Race could have even kicked Hogan's ass, and Harley Race was kind of old then.
Yeah, but Harley Race is like got legitimate tough guy about him.
Oh yeah, Harley Race was a dude you did not fuck with. I could think of three people. Harley Race, Haku, and Andre were the three dudes that back then you did not want to fuck with.
What about Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haku, man. Ming. Haku, yeah.
Haku, yeah, you don't fuck with Haku.
Yeah. I the amount of stories I've heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I even saw What Culture, what's the name? Simon Miller, like they had some issues like with that. I mean, I think the problem with Haku now is that because he was known as being somebody you don't fuck with, is that he just can't let it lie. You know, even as an old man, he still wants to be this tough guy when he should be like embracing shit, and he ends up fighting people he shouldn't. Anyway, he sat next to Kerry Von Erich on a flight to Japan 72 hours before Kerry killed himself. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But what are you trying to say, Hogan?
Yeah.
Like,
this is very annoying.
I mean, like, that's not a good thing to say sometimes. Like, okay, well, Kerry killed himself 72 hours later. Did you have something to do with that? Did you tell him that you were never going to put him over? He was never going to make it, or some shit like that? And then again, a lot of the Von Erichs had drug issues as well.
Okay, now this I call bullshit on 100% right here.
He claimed he was a wrestler responsible for the WWF's first selling merchandise. He had to talk Vince into it.
No, you don't say Vince is running to making money.
Yep,
I want to take money.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. If anything, Vince came up with the idea for his wrestlers to have merchandise and shit. Hogan was not the first. I could guarantee you that he was not the first.
Jesus Christ, these lies never end.
Yeah, well, it goes on for a while. I've even added one in there. I don't know if that tweet will show up.
He claimed he was banned from Letterman because he stopped Letterman from hitting Linda Hogan. Hogan has appeared on Letterman many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his wife was hot stuff, when she was in her prime.
Yeah.
He said he used to be 6'9", but now after his back surgeries, he's only 6'4". Listen,
I believe that shit.
Listen, he's had very black compressions.
Yeah,
like even like Jesse Ventura said that the older he got a bit shorter. It does happen.
It does. It's gonna happen to all. It's gonna happen to all of us because they say like, if you live to be in your 90s, you'll have shrunk at least 6 inches minimum. You'll at least go down.
Yeah, well, he's not 70 yet, and he's already 5 inches is quite a lot.
Yeah,
but those leg drops apparently really took a toll on his spine.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the pins in his back and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing the photos.
Yeah, he was going to commit suicide literally had a gun in his hand and pointed at his head when he got a call from Layla Ali. I think that's Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Yeah.
That he took as a sign he should keep trying to live. Maybe.
Yeah,
You know
maybe.
I mean?
Maybe. Because I remember that time when Linda.
That's what I call bullshit on.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah,
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, actually.
Well, actually, here's the thing, though. You got to remember, Linda raped him of practically all his money at that time. I mean, bro, you make millions and millions and millions, and she takes you for everything you got. I mean,
married for you, man.
Yeah, that's getting married for you. It's designed for women to take from men. It is.
Well, he claimed that Van Gagne got Nick Bockwinkel to shoot on him during one of their AWA title matches. Hogan shot back and won the fight.
I can bullshit that.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, Nick Bockwinkel was one of the toughest guy, and he's a shoot wrestler for legit. He could, if he wanted to, he could tie Hulk Hogan in a Gordian knot, and you wouldn't be able to untie it.
He said he wanted to drop the title to Piper in 1985, but he didn't think Piper would be willing to lose it back to him.
I believe that shit.
This one I've heard. I've heard.
Yeah,
this story.
I've heard that one.
Yeah. So he claimed he wanted to turn heel on Warrior at WrestleMania 6, but Vince wouldn't go for it.
Yeah, no. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
This next one, no.
Yeah.
Well, just before we get to that next one, like. I never really heard about this story, but that would be fucking epic if he did.
Yeah, it was one of those where he went on Stone Cold's podcast, like I think a couple of years ago, and was all like, yeah, my idea, brother, was to turn heel on the Ultimate Warrior and gaff him after I kicked out of 3 1/4 at the end of his finish. And he fucking did that. He kicked out at 3 1/4, and then he went to go get the belt. He was originally supposed to waffle him with the belt, but none of that ever happened. It would have been a cool idea. I just call bullshit on the whole heel turn thing. I'm like, Hollywood Hulk Hogan wasn't a thing for 6 years.
And at that time, Vince wasn't a big fan of face versus face matches, but he couldn't ignore that one.
There was money in that one, yeah.
Yeah. And face versus face matches happen all the time now. He claimed that Tatsumi Fujinami tried to shoot on him in Japan and steal the WWF title, but he beat him. This I don't know anything about.
Yeah, that one, let me see, Tatsumi. Oh, yeah, back in Japan, I think, when Hogan took the WWF title with him.
He was a good wrestler in Japan.
Yeah, he could do enzuigiris and shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, if he was to beat Hulk Hogan, he probably could.
Yeah, I could see Tatsumi Fujinami beating the crap out of Hogan if it was for real.
Now,
excuse me, still more replies.
My personal favorites were the 400.
There's one I added in there, so go down further.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was also
here's mine.
Time Hulk lost and later won the game for his Little League World Series team. I guess Hogan didn't want to do the job even at 10 years old.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yep.
He's also pitching Become Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, this is the one I mentioned.
Out of 3 1/4 against the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, even though we all know that wasn't happening. Yeah, that kick out was a disgrace, by the way. Even though he got the 3, and stuff like that. But I have to say, like the 400 days in a year, and
that one's
oh god, absolutely hilarious. Because Elvis died on the year I was born. So that sticks with me. Like I'll always remember when the year Elvis died. And he's one of the most famous people of all time. So there's some people who will be dead, and yet you always know who they are. And Elvis Presley is one of them.
Yeah, like I was born in '88, and even I know about Elvis. Like my mom was never a big Elvis person, but she even remembers, like, she was like, yeah, I was young. I was getting my hair cut when I heard that he died across the radio. And it's like, yeah, you'll always remember certain things.
So, yeah, hearing those bullshits, it's quite remarkable that he would. This is the problem when you think everyone else is a fucking idiot and you're smarter than everyone else, that you come up with such ridiculous lies that you don't think you ever get called out for it because you're big muscular Hulk Hogan.
Nobody here can say though that Hulk Hogan is not a great bullshitter. He is one of the greatest bullshitters of all time.
And you know what? I think it will get worse with age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like if you bullshit this much now, then he's only gonna. That's all he knows. He'll bullshit. He'll bullshit till his fucking dying days, mate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that's the sort of person that he is, and it's only gonna get worse, in my opinion. You look at Donald Trump. There's a prime example.
Oh yeah, he was a master of bullshit. That's how he became president.
And then you see him president bullshit, and he's like bullshitting all the fucking time
Yep.
as president. You know, saying that there's going to be a healthcare program in 2 weeks, and
Yep.
it never was. You know, and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, coronavirus will just disappear and shit.
Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. You just bullshit on tap. You know what I mean? It's on tap. You know what I mean? Just automatic bullshit. You know, like the people like him, it's easier for them to lie than just to be remotely honest about even the most, simplest things.
Yep.
You know, so, but yeah, that was hilarious. That was good fun.
Yep.
Good to go a little trip on memory lane regarding Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Brothers.
The one that killed me, though, that forgot to get mentioned was the one where, I guess he went to Mexico or whatever for one of his umpteen back surgeries, and he said he was allergic to DMSO, and it almost killed him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that, considering that a lot of wrestlers back then used DMSO, and that's what he said he was allergic to. It was some kind of chemical or some shit.
He obviously there was some sort of lie which went. It was to do with the fact that his son had paralyzed his friend when they were driving illegally, or I think his son was under the influence or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way that he behaves towards his daughter during that Hogan knows thing, where like his son he allows to go flaming bird dogging every flaming chick he goes, but his daughter, what's his daughter called now?
Brooke.
Brooke. Like he has a flaming chastity belt on that poor woman. Like the fact she even did stuff with Bubba Ray Dudley, and he was like going all mental about it. It's like,
yeah,
dude, she's your daughter. Fame, grow up.
Yeah, I remember Randy Orton had something to do with his daughter as well.
Yeah,
a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke must be getting close to her 40s now.
Actually, shit. Let me see. I think she's around my age. Yeah, she is. She's in her 30s now.
Yeah, I know Paris Hilton's in her 40s.
Yep. Damn, she's in her 40s already?
Last time
she's my age.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No, the Paris Hilton's 39. She's the same age as
Last
me.
time I checked, she was 39, so I think she must be 40 now.
Yeah, because I turn 40 in March, so.
Yeah, but credit to Alan Cheapshot. Y'all need to give this guy a follow.
I'll follow him, actually.
Before we get out of here, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and follow him.
Let's follow the guy. There you go. You can all see me follow him on my Twitter.
Yep.
Right, shoot. Should we... I'm trying to think of anything else that's happened in the wrestling business. Well, Triple H had his triple bypass.
Oh, yeah, let's give our well wishes to Triple H, yeah. Well wishes, man.
I spoke to Shredder about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, do you think this is the end of Triple H's cameo appearances? Because he's not full-time anymore, we all know that. But he does do cameo appearances, WrestleManias and stuff like that. Big pay-per-views. You think that's it? We'll never see him wrestle again?
He'll be back.
Because I know people like Jerry Lawler still wrestles.
He still wrestles, yeah, and he's in his 70s.
And he had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, but the thing is that he wrestles once in a while, and he doesn't wrestle that often anymore. And the thing is that
but even once in a while is where it's worse because your body's not honed.
Yeah, it's not honed to taking bumps and shit.
Yeah.
So what I hope will happen that either he says, right, that's it, I'm not going to wrestle anymore, or he has one last match to put somebody else over. That's what should happen. But
I think his retirement run is going to come sooner rather than later, because I can tell you who our next big retirement run, quote unquote, is going to be. It's going to be Rocky. He's going to be the next big dude to get that send off, because it was Undertaker last year. Now I think it's going to be Rocky, and then I think Hunter will follow him.
As I said, the one I want it to be is as much as I love Chris Jericho, I want him just to go backstage or do commentary or do something that isn't in front of.
As far as AEW, he's going to be their first big retirement guy, I think.
Yeah, because I think he'll just go. Do you know what, he could be the agent, he could be the booker, he could be something. I just don't think he should be in front of the camera anymore, because the dude. I mean, he's about my size, and he's a lot heavier. He's about the size I was before I lost all the weight. I think he's like could be 270 at least.
Yeah, they build him as 227, but I call bullshit on that. I'm like, I don't think he's 227. He's got to be at least like 240.
I'm 70 stone 11, which is 240 something. So I'm about the same size as Jericho. Do I look like the same size as Jericho, like waist wise?
No,
exactly. So he's going to be heavier than I am.
Yeah.
Regarding The Rock, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like he's already retired.
He's been retired in my mind.
In my mind too. And the funny thing is like him having a one-off match is just so insignificant. Like the guy's not wrestling enough for people to. I mean, he's all good that he can cut a pop and stuff, but he's more, in my opinion, he's better off cutting promos than he is actually wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he did come back to fight Cena in those 2 WrestleManias and stuff, as well as CM Punk at Royal Rumble, and for fuck's sake, he actually promoted that match in the summertime to fight him in the Royal Rumble. In January.
Like 8 months. He was like, "All right, motherfucker, here's the deal. In 8 months, I'm coming to whoop your ass."
Yeah, so like, after I finish my next movie, I'm gonna come. Like he just doesn't feel right, and he hasn't been, honestly, when he has returned, he hasn't been that good. He's lost a step. When he was full timing, he was very good. He was quick, he was electric, he was very intense. He hasn't got that anymore, and I think by not wrestling recently, like he's kind of hasn't evolved with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to see The Rock wrestle anymore. I really don't. I just don't. You know what I mean? It's like Steve Austin. I don't want to see him. I'm glad Steve Austin won't wrestle anymore.
Steve Austin is probably the only dude I could think of that actually kept his word. When he said, "I'm retired," I'm retired.
Yeah, but that's because his neck was so messed up.
Yeah, his neck and his knees were all fucked up.
Yeah, but
and it happens as you age, man. Like I'm 33. I'm like, I had a fall on both my shoulders like a couple years ago or a few years ago. They've never been the same after that. Like they'll spasm up whenever the fuck they feel like it. It's like aging is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It really is.
Especially when you take the sort of knocks these guys do. Yeah. Like that inverted pole driver he took, from Owen Hart. That's just that put him on the shelf a lot earlier than
he planned to be. Yeah,
for sure. So, and one more thing as well, before we wrap this up, and this is something I picked up from What Culture. People are saying that AEW are taking all the guys from WWE and just running off their popularity. But people forget that Hulk Hogan was an AWA guy before WWE or WWF got him. He was already famous there, and then he became more famous in the WWE.
Yep.
Steve Austin was WCW and ECW, stunning Steve Austin, all of that shit, and then he became a bigger guy in the WWE. Obviously, he became a top tier guy. There are a lot of Bryan Danielson.
Look what happened to the NWO. I mean, like for example, Kevin Nash and
Razor
Hart, Razor and Dawn Diesel. I remember the NWO made them huge stars.
Yeah, even the Undertaker. I remember him from Mean Mark Calloway.
When he was Mean Mark Callis, my dad used to watch Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah, Mean Mark Callis. Yeah, and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. I knew them from Ring of Honor.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Rob Van Dam was an ECW guy.
Yeah, because I hear that argument. I hear that argument too of like, oh, these are just full of ex-WWE rejects. I'm like, who on this list is all ex-WWE rejects? Did they go somewhere else first, then go to WWE, then went to AEW? I'm like, that's kind of the argument.
Yeah, but the thing is that what AEW is doing is allowing them to be that. Because the thing is they're not putting the shackles that WWE puts on them.
But my point is that WWE got a lot of their famous guys from other territories.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in AEW getting their guys from the WWE.
Yeah, because a lot of those WWE guys came from somewhere else first.
Yeah, and even if they came through the development, came through development, it still doesn't matter because WWE did it themselves. There's a fuck ton of Booker T, who's WCW guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, a lot of these guys who made it in the WWE have come from other territories. AJ Styles, TNA, Ring of Honor, and all that sort of shit.
And my thing is, okay, before we go with this war that a lot of people like to romance and, make a big deal out of, guys, I hate to tell you, it's not. It's never going to be like it was back in 97, 98,
yeah,
99.
Because the way people view content now is so much different. I mean, people just, the thing is, unless there was like direct competition, like for example, they're on the same server on the same night and you can only choose to watch one. That's the only way that they can maybe do it. The thing is, what AEW needs to do is become successful in its own way. And the thing is, is that it'll be, if it becomes sustainable and successful, it'll start kicking ass on the flaming ratings, no problem.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You could say cord cutting. You could say, a million different excuses. The fact is that wrestling is never going to be like it was from 97 to 03. Those were the glory days. They'll never – WWE, I will say this with 100% certainty, because here's a controversial take before we go. WWE will never outdo the Attitude Era, and that's something that everybody here is just going to have to accept. AEW, I think, in certain aspects, has already destroyed the Attitude Era. As far as in-ring wise, it's destroyed the Attitude Era. Because a lot of people need to remember when Monday Night Raw happened during that time, a lot of those matches on Monday Night Raw really weren't all that memorable. And AEW's already shattered their in-ring product, in my view. And content-wise, I think they're going to get there. They're edgy. They're, doing blood. They're swearing. There's a sense of realism there. You can't say that for WWE nowadays.
Yeah, they're kind of resting on their laurels a little bit, and you've got a senile old man at the helm with no idea, no understanding of today's youth or anything along those lines, and not evolving and still being stuck in his ways and stuff like that. So,
and with Triple H, before we wrap this up, what do I think is going to happen with NXT? I think Triple H is out, regardless. They say that Vince will still allow Triple H to produce storylines. For now, yes, but emphasis on for now. It's only going to be a matter of time before it has to be Vince's way entirely. Storylines, little picture.
This would be better for AEW because we have the Wednesday night wars, don't we? Yeah, I mean
they moved to Tuesdays. NXT, they lost. NXT, they lost
to AEW.
Yep, they lost, and that's why Vince is touching NXT because in his eyes, Triple H is a failure.
Is that because WWE's a failure and it's his fault? It's like, why is that company seceded, brother? It's because AEW has allowed its stars to be themselves.
Yeah.
Well, and they don't do stupid shit like zombies and flaming, people flaming giving each other blowjobs and flaming all those stuff. They do wrestling.
Look, if Vince thinks that Triple H is a failure, then show him how it's done, Vince. Don't move it to fucking Tuesdays. Keep it on Wednesdays. But isn't SmackDown on Tuesdays?
SmackDown is now on Fridays.
God, that show has moved about
1,000 times.
It's been on Thursday. It's been on every fucking day. It's just
every day but Wednesday and Monday. Yeah, every day but Wednesday and Monday.
Yeah, Monday it'll never be on Monday, will it? So
no, they're never going to have SmackDown on Monday. Yeah. But I think overall, AEW keep doing what the fuck you're doing. Vince, either step up or step aside, but we know that's not going to happen.
No,
he'll die at work. That's going to be Vince's.
I don't think you say he's going to sell the company. I don't think so. I think
he's going to die. I think
he will take it down with him.
Yeah.
He will take it down with him, in my opinion, and that's what's going to happen. It's his baby.
It's going to end one of two ways. It's either going to go this way where Vince knows he's getting fucking old and he knows that his time is up, so he's looking to sell, which I've heard. It may be NBC. It may be, the mouse. I'm glad you said something before we go. It's going to either be NBC or Disney owning it. I could see NBC. That's one way. But I think ultimately, the more and more I think about it, I think Vince is going to die. I do. It's sad to say, but that's what I see happening.
How old is he now? Like 76?
76.
So he's nearly 80 and he's still working his ass off, doesn't sleep a lot.
Yep.
It's almost become a poison chalice for him. Like, the guy just doesn't know when to relax. And unfortunately, his way of doing things affects everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's done such stupid things in the past, and
it affects
recently with Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah, it affects the morale, it affects the quality, it affects the production, everything. I mean, you know, with WWE, it's like, yeah, you're going to catch it if it's on if you want to, but with AEW, you have to watch AEW. It can't be to where like, oh my God, I'll wait till next week to say AEW. No, I got to watch it now. Like if I don't catch AEW, I get legitimately pissed. And I don't know if you guys have had that feeling about AEW yet, but I have. I'm like, I got to see what they're going to do next.
Well, it's the opposite with me for WWE because
WWE, fuck them. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
It's very hard, like, you know, like generic wrestling, which is so formulaic in every department, owned by a guy who doesn't like to listen to the fans, actually hates listening to us and rather tell us what to like instead of understanding what we like. And
because you'll want what I want and you'll want it when I tell you want it. That's his philosophy.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, when you have moments like the Stan Kroenke saga, which was so fucking
so fucking stupid. As a Coloradan, I'm still pissed off about that. I'm still mad.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just how can you want to watch his product? He doesn't care about anything really. It's and he likes to fuck people over, and you hear the stories about burying people and, you know, testing people and stuff like that. People just want a fucking work environment, where they do their job, they get paid, and that's it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe you get treated like a human being would be nice too. It's all a fucking game to Vince.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all a fucking game to him. He likes I've heard about how he likes to fuck with people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I think as far as Vince goes, though, it's going to end in one of those two ways. Like I said, it's either a sale or he goes. And I see both. I could see both realistically happening, or I could see both overlapping each other. Vince could die and the company could still be sold. I mean, we don't know what the fuck going to happen here within the next 5 years. We have no idea.
Yeah, the future of the WWE is more fascinating than WWE itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right then, fella. This has been a really, really interesting talk and lots of stuff to go on about. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yep. So I just like to tell everyone who's watching right now to please subscribe to NerdTube. You know, click the subscribe button, follow us, share, like, all of that bollocks. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of. And Jose, Bossman, and myself will see all you cunts.
See you in 400 days between U.S. and Japan.
Yeah.
Just want to leave that out there.
Yep, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff to talk about in the future.
And I'm pretty sure one of us will join Metallica too.
When's Extreme Rules coming out?
I don't know. Let me look that up before we go. Extreme Rules. All right. When is it?
Extreme Falls.
Yeah. Extreme Redundancy. Okay. 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be here.
If we don't have anything next week, you'll definitely be here.
Yeah, Sam, I don't want to. I used to do a review, but I need somebody with me on that day. If somebody else can review it and come and do the review, because the thing is that doing that review on my own, I hate what they put. Apart from
pay-per-views, man. I might join you on that one because
I might join you. We could do a watch along if we all really fucking wanted to. If you needed the help.
Yeah.
No, it's I wouldn't mind.
Just going over the review because
going over the review, we could do that shit. That's easy.
Because that's no problem.
I mean, the thing is that SummerSlam was actually SummerSlam was bad. I was going to say it wasn't that bad, but then I realized it was that bad because there's some really good matches like the Edge and Flaming Seth Rollins match was great, but then like I had the Goldberg and the Flaming the Becky Lynch thing, which pissed me off. So.
Well, yeah, Vince, he always likes to bring back a fucking has-been. You know, I don't even call them legends anymore. I call them fucking has-beens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the way Goldberg's been treated, being used recently, it's not even nostalgic.
I think the reason that Vince is doing that is because I think Goldberg's son hasn't seen him wrestle. And that's
he's seen him wrestle plenty now, man.
Plenty now, over the last 5 years,
yeah. So, but look, all right, guys, we're off. Take care. Bye-bye.
Peace. Bye.